All right, guys, welcome to another KevCAM Night class tonight. Tonight I have Brendan helping out, answer any questions, concerns, things that come up along the way. How's it go, Brendan?
Hey, guys. Good, good. How you doing, man?
Can't complain at all. So for you guys that are new to the night class, sorry for the guys that always come in here, but for the new guys in here, we do use GoToWebinar. That puts everybody on mute just to eliminate some background noise. But if you guys do have a question, and I definitely encourage you to do it, there is a questions panel in the GoToWebinar. So definitely put your questions in there, or as I'm going through the particular part, you have a question about it, shoot it in there right away, and if it's something that Brendan can answer right off, you know, as he's going, he can just type it over to you, or he'll just tell me to pipe down and answer the question that's there. So these classes, guys, are totally for you guys. So like I said, ask as many questions as you want. Tonight we are going to be covering kind of my favorite of the HSM and kind of wrapping up the HSM series here, but it is the Constant Z combined with horizontal strategy and Constant Z combined with linear. So we'll kind of do a review in a way, covering the horizontal and the Constant Z and the linear, because we're kind of bundling those all in one operation now to get a real nice toolpath finish. So now, definitely, any suggestions that you guys have for night class ideas, definitely send those over. We'll add those right in, and even if you send us over something, we'll get you a free hat and t-shirt for your ideas. And so definitely shoot those over to me. And for those of you guys don't have my email address, let me put it into the chat for you here. All right. So I just put my email address into the chat. Anything comes up along the way, guys, definitely shoot me an email. Get those over to me. Even if you guys are working on a part after hours, late night, shoot me an email. Tell me it's very urgent, and I'll get your question answered right away. Me and Brendan were just talking about, for those of you guys that don't know, Sydney is our SolidCAM professor, and he is over in Israel, and we were doing a meeting last night at 1:30 in the morning, so we're always awake.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Kevin. I mean, it's pretty amazing the level of support that not only that you guys see, but that I see even as an employee of the company. These guys they're up and working at all hours of the night, and I'll tell you, this level of support you're not going to see anywhere else, and it's really, it's pretty amazing. We get amazing reviews. If you just go online, just search SolidCAM support, you'll see a lot of great stuff out there. So, not trying to sell you on it, just wanted to kind of bring up a couple of points, and you can do the research for yourself.
And that's why SolidCAM supplies us with endless supply of Red Bull. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly.
All right, guys. So right here is my YouTube channel. All night classes are recorded for you guys to go back and reference, or if you guys want to review anything. Now, what we're doing in here too is Mark and myself are adding videos in here, trying to average about 3 videos a week, just short little videos, and then the long night class videos in here. So come here, check it out. I did put the link into the chat for you guys. There's tons of content in here, and definitely come check it out. So, and like I said, if you missed any videos in the past, you'll find them all right here for you guys. So, but I guess with that said, we'll get the ball rolling here. Okay, so we got a part here. Now, we can, like I said, we're combining 2 different strategies into one now with HSM. So for this one, what we're going to do first is we're going to do a Constant Z with horizontal, and that's going to kind of cover our 3D surfaces going down the side and our flat areas. And so for this particular part, what I want to do is do a semi-finish, and then we'll come back and do a finish operation. So we'll get going here. and I am going to come down to the very bottom, and that's where the combine feature is, and we'll do the horizontal. And tool, I'm going to grab, what do I have in my arsenal here? Let's see. I'm going to go for a bull nose end mill, 1/4 inch bull nose end mill. Now, constraint boundaries. I've done a lot talking about the constraint boundaries here, but it's basically where do you want to contain your area to. I'm just going to leave it on automatic, so it's automatically creating a box from the target geometry. Now, if you guys want to extend it a little bit past, you guys can come and do of your box, a silhouette or a outer silhouette of it. But for right now, we'll just do right off our target geometry. And then I want to go a little bit past. I want to go extend it out a little bit. So I'm going to set it to external and just doing a 10 thou offset from that external boundary. So basically when we're talking external is toolpath comes down to here and it's going to go a little bit farther past as what we defined. Kind of showing here in the picture too of what's going on. Now, this will look all very familiar for you guys for the Constant Z side of things. This is basically HSM Constant Z, but we've also patched in the horizontal in there too. So for right now, we'll go to Constant Z, and I want to do like I said, I'm going to do a semi-finish first. So we'll just do a 2 thou. We'll do a step down of, let's just go 20 thou for right now. And we're good for our Constant Z. And our Constant Z is our passes that are going to be going down the outside of the edge. You can define your angles right here, and once we get kind of going here into the next toolpath, I'll actually put some angles in there, but since I'm just doing kind of a semi-finish right now, really doesn't matter for this particular one right here. Now, I'll come over to, now we have our same link as what we have before, but now we've added in our horizontal passes. So for our horizontal, I'm just going to throw a wall offset of 4 in there. And we'll just put 0 so we're actually machining it right up to size with that bull nose end mill. And we'll just leave that step over of 111 thou in there. So from right here, if I just do save and calculate, basically what's going on is it's combining both those Constant Z passes and the horizontal passes to get a real nice tool path. Now, why I've kind of been talking all along about, my favorites kind of at the end. And the reason why I like this one so much is because I can get so much done just within one operation here. So you'll see right here is we're going way too deep. Let me just fix that. Go to my bottom here, and we'll just go to right here. And I'll set my bottom also for my horizontal. That's a nice thing too. You guys can set your heights different for your horizontal versus your Constant Z and all that. So lots of control here. One other feature I got to show you here once this gets done calculating is you guys can actually switch the order. So maybe you guys want to do the horizontal passes first, and then you want to come do the Constant Z. And that is, let's see, where did I come across that? Machining order right here. So just an additional tab onto your link panel that we normally have, but now we can set our order. We can do the Constant Z first, or we can do the horizontal first, or you can just do only Constant Z or only horizontal. Now these two, I'm not sure why they actually have them in here, just because if we're only doing a Constant Z, we'd obviously just come over here and just do Constant Z. But if you guys, I guess the only way I can kind of see it is if we're doing a semi-finish and a finish, and you just want to do the Constant Z first, then do a save and copy, and then you can do the Constant Z and the horizontal. That's definitely an option for you guys too. So now you'll see we're doing our Constant Z passes, stepping down. I think we had a 20 thou step down on our Constant Z going down the side here, but up on top, we're getting a nice, smooth, basically a pocket style toolpath on those nice flat areas right here. So it's a real nice toolpath because you can basically do your entire part with this operation. So like I said, it's one of my favorite ones I like to use. So now what we'll do is we will do our constant Z and linear. So we'll come in here and we grab our linear here. Now I'm going to come back with a little bit smaller tool now. 1/8 inch ball end mill. My constraint boundaries. Now instead of constraining it to the entire part, for this one I'm just going to do a manual. And I'll show you. I'm basically just chaining this top portion. So I really don't want it to go down on the sides over here. Just want to mainly focus on these areas. Basically just kind of finishing off some of these fillets in here that I wasn't able to get to with before. And I'll leave it on external. We can still leave our 10th thou offset value, so it's extending past that 10th thou. And we come to our constant Z passes here. So I want to finish this up to size, so I'm going to do a 0 for a wall and 0 for a floor. Now what I'm going to do here is I want to set my angle range. So I want it to machine everything between 40 degrees and 90 degrees for my constant Z passes. Now when I switch over to the linear, we can switch it up, so it's going to go from 0 to 45. And so I'm doing a 5-degree overlap there just to get blending a little nice like that, and just everything kind of flows a little bit smoother together when you have a little bit of an overlap there. Okay, so we will do let's just do another 20 thou step over here. And I'm going to set my levels here. I'm just going to go kind of the bottom of this. Let me grab it real quick. Bottom of my radii right there. And my top, I'm just going to go on this flat surface up on top right here. And I'm going to just do a delta because I kind of want everything below that. So we can do a delta of 30 thou, and let's do a delta of my Z bottom just to make sure we're catching everything of -70 thou. Oops. -0.7 thou. Okay, so I have everything set up how I want for my constant Z passes. Now what I'm going to do is come over to my linear here and get this all set up here. So I'm going to leave my wall and floor the same here. Want to do a nice 7 thou step over here. And like I was saying before, what I'm going to do is do an angle range from 0 to, now the default value, once I change this constant Z, is going to automatically populate over here. But like I said, I want to do a little bit of an overlap there. So we'll go 45 degrees versus that 43 degrees. So if you don't remember, what we did is on the constant Z, we went from 40 to 90. And the linear is basically cleaning up that 0 to 45 degrees. Now I can also put an angle on there. If I want, I can kind of get a little bit of a cross pattern on there. Maybe, instead of, well, let's just kind of see what we have so far. And then I forgot to set my Z values.
That's all right, man. Even the great ones make mistakes. No problem.
Okay, so go Z bottom here. And I'll set those up the same as kind of what I did before. Do a -70 here, and we'll do a -30. Okay, and top, good there. And we should be all set now. Now I still have the option if I want to do bidirectional. Maybe for your constant Z passes, you want to do bidirectional, or maybe just your linear, you want to go bidirectional, and your constant Z just to go one way. You guys definitely have that option for you guys. So,
Yeah, and I think that the really cool thing here, Kevin, too, is that maybe, people with 2.5D Pro, really don't realize how powerful this is. There's a lot you can do with this here, and um, it really lends itself to, not just like curved surfaces, but I think there's a couple of other things that you can do here too, Kevin, if you want to get really creative.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the sky's the limit on what you guys can do. You can really, if you want to get really deep into it, you can really fine tune your links, so your lead in and lead outs, approach points, and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
The nice thing too with the HSM is a lot of the, like I've said, kind of going through this entire series, is a lot of the default values that are in here are, are pretty good. Not a lot of times you guys will have to go in there and modify those, so you can actually leave those at, those default values. And like I said, leave those tolerances or the step overs a little bit large first. Make sure you got good tool path. Fine-tune all your lead in and lead outs, and then once everything is good, then you can crank her down and get some, basically your finished product here.
Yeah, totally. And I think, as this is going forward and as we're, kind of, calculating this, and this will show really quickly, but again, there's not a lot of other systems out there that do this, that allow this type of 3-axis functionality with essentially a 2.5D package. So, it's something to consider as you're moving forward with making a decision on, a new CAM software.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're touching off on all our areas here. I did mess up my height. I wanted to get this flat here. I didn't want to touch my floor at all because I basically already cleaned up that entire floor with that previous toolpath with the horizontal there. Just do a Z top of right here. And unfortunately I have to do a quick saving calculator. It should be a little bit quicker this time. Because like I said, when I did that previous one, we were doing the constant Z with horizontal, and I left a 0 floor offset. So there's no need to, go over that toolpath again here. We'll just let this baby calculate up here. And
yeah, and the other thing that's cool too is seeing this graphically, really gives you a sense of exactly what that part's going to look like. So, there's a lot of stuff that that really kind of just it just makes a lot of sense to to graphically look at the toolpath, and you can see here that there's there's minimal rapid moves, retracts, repeats, that kind of stuff as well. So
yeah,
very efficient toolpath.
Absolutely, and I mean, we could really eliminate a lot of these retracts actually if we went to a bi-directional. And like I feel bad because when we do a saving calculate on here, guys, that you guys have to get that little bit of waiting time there. But I really want to program these parts live for you guys. I don't want to have a part completely programmed and just walk you through it. I want you guys to see, step by step on exactly what I have to do to get a finished product here. So if you guys don't like that the saving calculate time, I can definitely have these parts pre-programmed for you and just kind of walk through them. But I just feel that you guys probably get a little bit more out of it as I'm going through and creating toolpath as for the part. So.
And Kevin, that's a really great point. Everything that we do here in these in these sessions is we're showing you real world application. We're not going to just do like a dog and pony show to make it look like super perfect and you don't have to do anything and everything's wonderful. I mean, look, let's face it, there are things that you have to do to get toolpath to work the way you want it to. And, again, Kevin just said, like, yeah, there might be some retract moves here, some repositioning moves that we could change. Yeah, definitely, absolutely. But, these are the real world applications that you're going to see every day. So, again, anybody can show pretty pictures on the screen. We're just kind of, we're showing you what's reality and what works in the real world. So,
absolutely,
that's yeah, that's what we do best, I think.
And Brendan really likes it when I get it stumped up on something and I start sweating and getting all nervous. And
Well, it's so funny. It's like we get those all the time, the questions. It's like, do it live, do it
Yep,
live,
yep,
and
yep.
it's like, you know what? Fine, we'll do it live. It's totally cool. We'll do it, and you know what? How many times does the average person or anybody get it perfect on the first try? I mean, hey, look, well, I'm not going to say I'm an expert, but we have experts on our team, and sometimes, it takes a try or two to get it right, but we can certainly get it right very quickly. So.
Yep, absolutely. And thanks, Rick, for that comment. Definitely, we'll keep doing that. Okay, so now we still have, material up on our walls right here that we need to finish off. Some material is on here also. So what I'm going to actually do now is come back with that same cutter and do a horizontal now. Basically, so what I'm going to do is just reopen what I did before here, do save and copy, and I'm actually going to close out of that, and I'm going to drag it down to the bottom here. And for those of you guys didn't know, you guys can actually click and drag these around however you want. You can actually hit the Windows function and hit Control X and cut it out and paste it and do all that stuff. So now what we'll do is we'll basically kind of come back and finish everything up. So what I'm going to do is switch out cutters real quick and go to that smaller ball and mill here. Constraint boundaries, I'll leave it at the same here. Constant Z, definitely want to zero these out now. We can do a step down. We're looking for a pretty finish, so we'll go 5 thou. Should get us a real nice fine finish here. For this one, let's switch over to bidirectional. And like we were just talking about, kind of clean up our tool paths a little bit here. Now the horizontal. Now I know we did the horizontal and kind of finished this up to size already here. For blending wise though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of come back over this one here. So I guess I could have, come to the original when I did a semi-finish and left, a little bit of a floor there. But now we're going to clean everything up right here. So we'll do let's do a 7 thou step over for the flat floors. And we should be good from here. And we'll just do save and calculate here. And this should cover the entire part, laying a blanket over everything in there, basically covering all the nooks and crannies. Like I said, just having that mold and throwing a blanket of toolpath over the top, getting a real nice finished part here. Okay, so we got a lot going on here. Just because I have such a fine step over here, let me just kind of open this up a little bit here. Let's just do 15 and
and Kevin, I have to say something as you're doing that. I mean, this is really amazing that you could do this with with HSS. I mean, this is a really, I'm sorry, HSM. I mean, this is a very powerful toolpath. This is really, this is great stuff. And again, there's so much that you can do here, and have again, powerful programming just right at your fingertips.
Absolutely. So now you see, we basically have it, like I was saying, a blanket covering everything that's going on there. Doing a nice spiral leading into the material, covering all the surfaces. So on the top side, we got basically nice contoured toolpath going in there, and then we kind of follow down the edge doing our constant Z, just working our way down, nice steps working all the way through, and we're going to have a real nice beautiful toolpath here. So any questions on this particular part right here, guys? Perfect. Okay.
No news is good news.
Let's see, how about starting off the part instead of a helix, starting in center. So I think what Ronnie's asking for is on our link, and instead of doing a helical, if you want to do a plunge, Ronnie, is that what you're asking?
Well, I think he's looking to start Yeah, he wants to start off the part, kind of like creep into maybe the side of the part, Kevin?
Oh, starting from the outside, work your way in.
Sure.
For that, we don't have a lot of control on start points. Now we can, let's see if we go to, we don't
Okay, he said not necessarily starting off, but maybe, like outside in.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have, since what we're doing is laying a blanket down over the entire part, we don't have that option like what we did before to do, start from outside, work your way in, or inside, working your way out. And the only reason is because we're combining both tool paths here. So, but let me go to my horizontal and let me see if I can do, they have it in here for where you can start outside and work your way in here. So let's do by cluster, by dynamic stock. I need the reverse linking option there. And so I'm guessing, Ronnie, with since we're doing a combine, combining those two, and it's more to do with blending. So when we're going from the constant Z to the horizontal to get good blends in there, they kind of gray out the reversing order. So if we want to start from the outside and work your way in, and that's more to do, like I said, more to do with the blending style. So, when we're going from constant Z to horizontal, we're getting that nice blend line. Now, if we had constant Z starting, from the outside in and the horizontal starting from the outside in, we might not get as good a blending lines there. So does that kind of make sense? I think more to do with kind of blending is why they have it grayed out for us right now.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and he seemed like he understood that. So, and the other thing is too is, Ronnie, we can always take this offline and, show you some other options as well. So, no problem there.
Now, for those of you guys that are interested in the certification, that was a little preview of a somewhat of a part that's in one of the tests. So, just throwing that out there. Okay, so I am going to go with a little bit of a 2D style, well, a full 2D style part here. So last week we did prismatic machining. We can also use the combined constant Z with horizontal also. Is kind of prismatic and the combine kind of go hand in hand with each other. So for this part right here, what we did is got it all roughed out with 3D iMachining here. So now what I'm going to do is come into my HSM here, and we will do combine with horizontal there. And I'm going to grab, let's see, have a half or a half. Oh, we'll just grab this 1/2 inch here. Constraint boundaries, I'm going to let it set to auto, and we'll leave it on external. So it's going to go a little bit outside here. Constant Z, basically on my walls, how much do I want to step down? So I'll leave my walls because I'm going to finish everything up to size here. And let's just do a 250 thou step down. The top and bottom are good. Come to my horizontal here, and we'll just do a 200 thou step over there. So now, basically what it's going to do is it's going to machine our sides all the way up to size, and then when it gets down to the flat areas, we're going to do more of the contour style machining here. So basically, to rough and finish this entire part, we just did 2 tool paths minus the drill holes, obviously, just because our end mill is too large to get in there. And if let me go ahead and play this through here. So we have our part completely roughed out here, and let's slow it down just a little bit. and getting all those flat areas cleaned up here. And there we go. So we got everything roughed and finished out here. Now obviously the window is, the reason we're not seeing that window cut out is because I have additional stock here on the bottom. Hopefully you guys can kind of see that here. But like I said, real simple, easy to use. And like I said, even like Brendan was saying, for the 3D parts, but these definitely work absolutely amazing on the 2.5D parts also, or actually not 2.5D, 2D parts here. So, and like I said, real similar to the Prismatic. Got a little bit more control just because you can set your Z top and bottom for each of the constant Z versus horizontal. Let me just do a copy real quick here. And if we switch this over to Prismatic, we have our constraint boundaries like we normally do, but right here we only have control over the one level versus multiple levels. So like I said, if you want to constraint your flats just to the very bottom of the part, so you could pick your Z top just towards the bottom there, where here in Prismatic we just have the one option for the Z top and Z bottom. So just a little bit more control. And that's one thing that we kind of like to do at SolidCAM is we don't want to lock you guys out of anything. We want everything at your fingertips. And not so much the auto magic stuff, just because as machinists we like to see toolpath done a certain way, and we want it done that way, and we want control over all that. So we give you all those options there for you. So any questions on the just a simple 2D part before we get into another 3D one here?
Yeah, it looks like everything is pretty much status quo here, Kevin.
Perfect. Okay, so let's get into a little bit more complex part here. Okay, so a little bit more of a 3D part here. Now, we're going to be covering both the constant Z linear and the constant Z horizontal in this one. Like I said, the linear to kind of finish up these angle sides here, and the horizontal kind of clean up all the flat areas for us right here. So we'll see that we have this completely roughed out using HSR and HSR rest, getting some off that, or getting the rest of the material that was left over from that larger tool there. Now we'll go ahead and do our constant Z with linear. And we will go to and grab our tool here. Tool number 3, constraint boundaries. Just going to do a manual here and just going to grab the outside edge. If you guys want, you guys can use the automatic one. Like I said, just kind of trying to change it up a little bit, so we're not doing always automatic. But so we'll leave it, do a manual there. We'll leave it to centered. Now go to our constant Z, and I will do just kind of like a semi-finish, like we were talking before. So do like a 0.2 millimeter for a wall and floor, and do a step down. 80 will work. 0.8 millimeters will work. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it so I'm just doing everything between 40 degrees and 90 degrees. Now if I go to my linear passes, I'm going to leave my 0.2 millimeter for my wall and floor. I'll do my, let's do a 0.8 millimeter for my step over. Did I set 0.8 up here? Yep, okay. Kind of keeping those the same right there. Now what I'll do here is I'll do 0 to 43. I could step this up to 45 like we talked before. We'll just kind of leave it as what it's going to look like for default values. And that's it. Let's just see what we have so far. All right, and we should have toolpath coming up. Okay, so getting all the flat and the horizontal walls here, basically kind of doing a semi-finish of everything that's going on here. You can kind of zoom in here on the lines, and we're doing, just going left to right here. If I wanted to, I can change my angle. So if you guys want, we could do, 90 degrees. Save and calculate real quick. And we'll actually just be moving in the Y direction versus the X. So totally depending on how you guys want your tool path to look. On this particular one, it's really not going to matter just because we're kind of doing a square and we have the same amount of material going all the way around, so we could leave it at 0 or 90. Let's go ahead and just do a simulate here and see what it looks like under a solid verify. So doing that constant Z.
Yeah, you can really see that detail too, Kevin, around that sort of like, ribbon kind of surface there. That's really amazing. And the efficiency of that tool path too is really impressive.
Yeah, not getting any wasted, retracts.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, no movement like that at all. That's perfect. Wow, you can even almost see like the material detail in there too. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so we got a nice semi-finish going on right now. Now, basically, I want a real nice, finishing path for right there. So what I'll do is let's exit out of here, and we will come back and do a horizontal. And let's use a bull nose. Get that flat 4 nice and cleaned up. So 16 millimeter bull nose with a 1 millimeter corner radius. Constraint boundaries, let's just do automatic this time. Constant Z. We'll put that at 0 for our wall and floor. And let's just do a 0.3 millimeter step down here. And we will do the same as what we did before. Let's go from 40 degrees to 90 degrees will be the constant Z passes. And the horizontal passes will going to cover anything flat is basically kind of where it ends up at. We'll leave our wall, floor, and doing a 7 millimeter step over, which is kind of around a 0.25 step over there for inches. And let's just see what we have right here. And once this gets done calculating, I'll turn off that other tool path so you guys can kind of see.
Yeah, Kevin, as you're, calculating this tool path, is there sort of like a recommended configuration computer-wise that you might recommend for, for this type of stuff? I mean, this is not like crazy, kind of hardcore work, but, is there something that you might recommend in terms of computer power?
Yeah, let me pull up something real quick here, and
because I mean, let's face it, you and I have been doing this for a long time, and for some people that might look incredibly fast, but for other people that might be like, are you kidding me? That took 4 seconds.
No, and I'm kind of along the lines of it shouldn't take that long, but all of our tech guys here are running just laptops, so we can be very portable and go on site. But here's a good benchmark of computers, and this is updated every month from basic. And what we're kind of all running in the tech side and what I'm running here is right around the mid-range. So I got 16 gigs of RAM. I'm actually running a Samsung Evo SSD drive here. It says P2000 card. I think I'm running a K2000. Let me just, let's go to, what am I looking for here?
You know me, Kevin. You know how much I like to put you on the spot.
Oh, yeah,
so.
yeah. Computer management and, nope, that's not what I'm looking for. What am I looking for here? Device manager. I am running a Quadro K3100M card, so a little bit better of a card than what's listed right here. But like I said, if you guys are doing a lot of 3D parts all the time, you guys want calculation time to be much faster, then kind of head over to the high end and the extreme side of things. You know, if you get a little bit more expensive over here, but not terrible. So, and that for those of you guys that want this, let me just copy this link and I will put it into the chat for you guys so you can hand it off to the bosses and tell them, hey, I want a new computer. SolidCAM told me to get this one.
Which they're going to love you for. Just along those lines, Kevin, George said in January it was the M series video card. Is there a difference between the M card back in January and what you just recommended now?
The P card right here, to be honest, George, the P is a little new to me, so I'm not sure. I'm guessing that's a new series that NVIDIA just came out with for the P series, but I am not up to date with the P2000 or the P4000 or the P6000. I know NVIDIA just came out with the NVIDIA Tesla card, which is just blow your shorts off, crazy fast performance-wise, but it does come with a little pretty price tag too. But you know, like I said, this gets updated every month, so I'm guessing they just had a new card come out for the P2000. But technology in itself, you know, George, January you had the best of the best, and 2 months later they come out with something better. So just kind of how the technology side of thing goes.
You know, and the other thing that I can do too, you know, both Kevin and George, what I'll do is, you know, because George just said that he just got the M5000 card.
Which is a very good card.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that it is too. What I might be able to do is take this offline. I can talk to the tech guys and, you know, maybe just talk about some of the differences between the two. I'm sure we can, you know, come up with, yeah, at least some, you know, some contrast and comparison between the two.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't be a problem.
Absolutely, and like I said, we can run a little comparison for you, George, too, and kind of show you what the difference is. And like I said, it might just be a new model that came out. I'm not 100% sure on the NVIDIA. I try to stay up to date with this stuff all the time, but like I said, with the technology constantly changing, it's hard to stick up with it. I was just excited they launched the new Samsung S8 phone today. I don't know if you guys are into the Samsung users, but it was kind of exciting for the old nerd myself. Okay. So, kind of back to things
we'll
here.
Talk about that offline, Kevin. I'm a Samsung guy myself.
Oh man, they came out with some cool stuff. But okay, so
moving on.
Yep, moving on here. So now we are doing a real nice finish for our floor here. Doing a horizontal, basically like a kind of compare your horizontal toolpath as like a pocketing operation. So getting those nice lines in there, and we're kind of coming down a little bit past, so we're going, you know, like I said right here, our constant Z is going from 40 to 90 degrees here. If we wanted to extend that up a little bit more, I can definitely crank that to, you know, 30 degrees, and it will kind of come up a little bit even higher yet. So, and I'm not sure what we're going to take here. Let's play this through here and see what we're looking like. So doing that constant Z, gets down to the floor. It's going to finish the constant Z. Now, one thing I've actually been talking with the development on is to get it so it stays within the toolpath. So one thing that bugs me a little bit is, when we're doing that inside cavity right there, we're coming down with the constant Z, gets down to the flat 4, and then it's going to go back and work on the other constant Z. So what I'm trying to do is get it so when it's working on the constant Z here, it's automatically going to switch over to the horizontal, finish up this area first, and then come back and start doing the constant Z over here and going back to the horizontal. So we're not, we're not just doing all the constant Z toolpath first and then doing all the horizontal toolpath. If that makes sense for you guys. But and like I said, if you guys have suggestions on that stuff, want to see something different, our development team is very quick to respond and getting stuff changed around. And for those of you guys that are running 4K monitors, there was the icons showing just a little bit different. They are working very hard to get that fixed right away for that 4K resolution. But if you can imagine all these icons, I'll give you a little preview. All these icons over here are all each individual icons that have to be changed to meet the new 4K resolution. So all these icons. So I was talking to Jack, and he was talking how many thousands of icons he has to change for that 4K, but we're working on it and trying to get that fixed right away for you guys. Like I said, it's just a little bit different looking when you run in 4K, but and George, you were asking to turn off the, yeah, sorry about that. So now you can see a little bit better picture of that horizontal toolpath, getting nice machine lines. We're not wasting any cut time doing a nice, what are we doing, a 7mm step over there. So let's see, let's see, you can turn it off, okay, for visibility. That would keep the chips out of the bottom before going back in. Yeah, and that's kind of what Ronnie was saying is, kind of keep the chips out of there before you come back in. So when we come back into this cut, obviously we're going to have chips blown in there by coolant. So I kind of keep those out of there at the same time. But like I said, a little bit less, wasted moving around time. And like you said, Ronnie, definitely keeping in that core area, keeping some of the chips out of there instead of doing the constant Z on the outside and having stuff float in there, especially when you get in those cores right there where all the coolant builds up and everything. You can't really see what's going on there too. So any questions on this part, guys? Now's the time to ask because this is the only other part I have for tonight. So, and like I said, I know it's a lot of it is repeat because we've already gone over, the constant Z path, and when we first started the HSM series and the horizontal and the linear, but now we're just kind of combining everything together. Now, like I said, these bottom ones, these combined ones, are definitely a favorite of mine just because I can get, basically entire machine part here out of one toolpath versus, coming up here doing a constant Z, coming back and maybe doing a horizontal, and then maybe coming back and doing a 3D constant step over or, pencil milling. So it kind of combines everything up. So, and like next week we'll cover the 3D constant step over and 3D corner offsets. So like I said, we're just kind of crunching multiple different operations down just to one to kind of simplify things for you guys and make it easier as a programming and get, good toolpath for you guys. So.
Yeah, and again, Kevin, with all that being said, we're always open to, if you want to take anything offline, if there's something that you want to see a little bit more in depth, just let us know. It's totally fine. Kevin has plenty of free time. He really doesn't do a lot during the day. So he's I'm sorry, Kevin. I had to do it. But all of our guys, again, they're programmers, machinists. They're all real world guys. So, if there's something that you need to see, something that's a little bit challenging, please just feel free to give us a call. We're kind of, we're sort of like techno geeks like that. We enjoy doing this kind of stuff. So, Again, just anytime you have a challenging part or something that you want to go over, give us a call. That's why we're here.
Definitely. And I've kind of talked in the past is, yeah, we're leaders in integrated CAM for SolidWorks, but I like to kind of reference as, we're customer-driven CAM software. So a lot of these, with this HSM, these combined Constant Z wasn't around for, a couple of years ago, and it was a customer request to get these combined together. So that's what we did. So, yeah, it's like I said, any suggestions, guys, at all, definitely send those over to us, and we'll get those implemented in right away. So. But I guess that is all I have for this week. Next week, like I said, we are going to be covering the 3D constant step over and 3D corner offset. And then the week after that, we're kind of going to do like a wrap-up session, kind of let you guys tell me what you guys want to see inside the HSM, and we'll kind of do a questions and answers, stump the chump almost, and kind of go through each one of your guys' questions. Maybe you guys want to have a certain scenario that you guys would like to see, something like that. Just kind of do it as a wrap-up session for you guys in the HSM series. So basically anything inside of HSM we'll be kind of covering that night. So
cool. Hey, Kevin, George asked one last question here. He was asking, what about the unboxing that you were talking about last week?
Yep, it's coming, George. I don't know if I can actually say what it is yet. I'm still waiting to hear back and still waiting to get the product.
Oh, that's so unfair. You can't leave George hanging like that. Come on.
It'll be worth it. I'm really excited for it. I haven't even seen what this product even looks like, but from what I've been told by them, that is going to make my life so much easier as a programmer and a CAD drawer. So kind of along that lines, I hate to, let me tell you what, George, what I'll do for you guys is I will find out from the company if I can release what we're going to be unboxing, and then we'll do that, and we'll actually do the unboxing live for you guys. We won't take it up as a night class. Maybe we'll just do it on a Tuesday night or a Monday night, and that way you guys can see it. But I'm extremely excited for it, but I just got to find out if I can talk about it first. So sorry, George.
Well, that sort of leads into the next question from Ronnie. Is there a new release schedule anytime soon?
We just came out with Service Pack 1, or I'm sorry, Service Pack 3 HF1. Let's see, let me just get there real quick. And for those of you guys that don't have a login to the website, let me know right away so that you guys have full access to basically everything that you're seeing here. Just give me a second while I get logged in here. Go under subscription and downloads.
Yeah, I'm really, Kevin, I'm glad you're bringing this up because, there's everybody that's in here, you're on subscription as far as I know, just kind of looking through each one of your accounts. And, you have full access to this at any time. So, and Kevin, basically, as far as I know, Kevin, you're the administrator for this.
Yep.
So anything that you guys need, service packs, newest upgrades, that kind of stuff, let Kevin know or let me know. And, we'll make sure this happens for you anytime.
Yeah. And if you guys don't want it to deal with the links and all that stuff, like Brandon was saying, just shoot me an email and I can get you the links right away. But so we are on Service Pack 3 Hotfix 1, which came out about a week and a half ago. They are working on Service Pack 4, and they're kind of trying to figure out if we are going on Service Pack 4. There's some really big stuff coming out for chaining wise. So when you guys are chaining your geometry, basically when you guys go to do just a simple 2.5D, there is no clicking on edges anymore. You just click on the surface and it's automatically going to chain everything for you, recognizing open edges now automatically, recognizing islands. A lot of nice stuff that they're adding in there, and I think they're kind of in the process of determining if they're going to add that with Service Pack 4 or if they're going to put that in the 17, which is coming out very soon also. So, but definitely, guys, if you guys are curious on updates, there will be an update on average right around every 2 weeks, 2 weeks to a month, I guess I could say, on the site here. But if you guys are just, I got several customers, they'll shoot me an email, hey, anything new out there, and I'll just send them the latest link. So, let's see, is there a list of things to pack? Yes. If you guys are interested in what's included with the, with the new service pack that gets released out, let me know, and I can, I'll have the developers send that over to me. What it is, it's a huge couple pages long of enhancements that they added, and then usually the last page is stuff that they fixed that was broken in the prior pack. So if you want that information, just let me know and I can get that from development.
Sure. Yeah, and Kevin, I just wanted to add that real quick. That's kind of the cool part about the way this company works. There's not a lot of usually development doesn't talk to sales or tech and, whatever. It's like there seems to be a divide among, companies sometimes that do that. Everything is completely transparent here at SolidCAM. If you want to talk about, what's coming up in development or, things, that are happening in the future or, hot fixes, that kind of stuff. Everybody knows what's going on in this company, and that's really the cool part about it. And, that translates over to, to you guys. And, we don't, there's no secrecy, whatever. It's like, hey, what we know, you're going to know right away. So, that we take a lot of pride in the fact that there's a lot of, again, transparency as a customer over to what we have to offer for, for a product.
Yeah, and I think what we'll do even coming future-wise is maybe we'll do, either when we come out with a new service pack, we'll do I'll do either a short video on it of what's new for that service pack, or we'll do, if it's a major changes like what they're talking about coming up in the future here, would be, like 2017 coming out, and we'll do a whole hour-long session, basically pick the product apart and tell you what's been added and what they've done on there. So, like I said, that new one coming out, I don't know when, if it's going to be Service Pack 4 or 17, but it's there. From what I've gathered and what I've seen so far from the development team, it's pretty sweet stuff in there. So, going to make your guys' life a lot easier, but.
Yeah, and Kevin, there's Ronnie gave 2 more suggestions, basically through the chat area, and one of them was, if it was posted or if that information was posted, it would be easier to decide, whether or not to upgrade, and deciding to upgrade when it affects post-processors. And first of all, Ronnie, those are 2 tremendous points. But it's our job to make sure that we communicate with you in order to, to get your feedback, what goes into those upgrades, the customer suggestions, all of that sort of stuff. We're very cognizant of the fact that this is customer-driven software. So, if you have a particular suggestion that you want to add into the software, then we'll do everything that we can to get it in there. In terms of post-processors, we did have an upgrade. I think it was a couple years back, Kevin, where we did have to make some post changes, some post updates and stuff like that.
The post team really likes to go through just to make sure everything is good each year.
Exactly.
They did do a change this year with not so much of the milling side of things at all. It was more of the mill turn that they had to switch up the post a little bit. And then, like what Brendan's talking about a few years ago, we basically got rid of the, the Mac file, and now it's only, before, I don't know if for those of you guys have been around for a while, we had 3 files for the post processor, and now it's only 2, so they can kind of combine them in there, simplified things. But, the thing is, too, is as, new machines are coming out with, crazy amount of turrets and spindles and all the stuff that they can do, we really have to kind of adapt our software to go along with that, along with the post side of things. So, and that's why we sometimes need to do post modifications for year changes. But that's all covered under your guys' subscription. So.
Oh yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to say. And Kevin did an excellent job of stealing my thunder. So it was. I'm just joking. No, it really, what we're trying to do is simplify the process, and again, all of the the reason why, and we really have never done that before, at least in my tenure here at SolidCAM, but again, once those changes are made, as we move forward, it just makes it that much easier to to do those updates as they come out. So, Ronnie, great points, great suggestions. And again, we really do try to, to listen to all of this feedback and make sure that it does get implemented into the software as we move forward.
Yeah, maybe what we'll do, Ronnie, is, as you come to your subscription and downloads where you guys get your download, I'll talk to Jack tomorrow and see if we can get a button added over here saying release notes. And then when you click that release notes, it will automatically download a PDF document of everything that was changed / fixed. And I think that would be a great idea, Ronnie.
Kevin, that's a great idea. And Ronnie, you just might get some free swag for that suggestion. That's a fantastic idea, really. If anybody that pops into the meeting, they want to see the latest, the latest and greatest, they just download the PDF through, we actually could do that through Handout, Kevin.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I'm writing that down right now. That's a great idea. Excellent feedback.
Yeah, and like I said, all these ideas come from you guys. So anything comes, to your brain, let us know. I know it's late at night for some of you guys, but if you wake up in the middle of the night thinking about SolidCAM, grab that little notepad by your bed. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Well, we know that you do that, Kevin. I mean, maybe these guys have personal lives, but.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again for attending the night class. Like I said before, let us know what we can do to improve, fix, change anything for you guys. And like I said, we'll be talking about the 3D constant step over with combined Constant Z next week. So definitely look forward to you guys seeing you next week. And like I said, thanks again for giving these great ideas and suggestions. And let us know what we can do to help you guys out. That's the main thing. So.
Yeah, very cool, Kevin. Just real quick before we wrap up, George just came up with a great suggestion as well, and right along the line with what Ronnie was talking about. Maybe like an email, subscription for, when new updates come out. Maybe prior to, maybe a couple of months prior to their subscription renewal process. Okay. And this is something that I've been talking about for a while as well, and I do agree with George. I think it's a great idea, just to have a general release to, updates and what's coming in the next, in the next release. So sure. Again, equally as important, yeah. I think.
And to kind of touch on your topic there, George, and we kind of do what SolidWorks does. SolidWorks, they used to send out emails and basically to all their subscription base. And we're talking years and years ago. What actually happened though is they released the next latest, greatest, best of the best product. They had thousands of people download it, and they actually had a major bug in there. So all these customers that just downloaded that latest software had a bug. So what we've done is we've kind of, and that was SolidWorks, not SolidCAM. So what we've kind of done.
I was just going to say, don't, come on, we don't have bugs in our software, Kevin, come on.
So what SolidWorks did is they kind of pulled that and they created their customer portal, kind of like what we have right here, and you guys can come and check it. So I know it's been kind of a huge request, hey, send us emails when that latest one comes out, but just in case, out of the blue, and it hasn't happened yet, but there's something major wrong with software. That way we don't have 20,000 people running 2016 SP4 with a major bug in it that's causing some crashing going on. That way, if it does come across, Ronnie downloaded it yesterday. He called me up today and said, hey, there's a major issue with this. We need to get this fixed right away. It's completely messing up my system. I can go to development. Development can get that fixed and turn around and updated within, hours and re-upload a new link or a new hotfix for that. So that's just kind of a little bit of the reason why we don't send out email blasts to all of you guys saying, hey, there's a new version out. Come check it out. But we do let you guys know, and you guys should get an email when the new year comes out. So, but yeah.
Very good. No, Kevin, that's a fair point. I mean, let's face it. Nothing is completely perfect, and we certainly don't claim to be absolutely bug free, but we certainly try our best. So. We'll I'm sure that we can come up with a fair compromise to an email, maybe some sort of a web-based kind of communique or something like that. So yep. We'll certainly work on that.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night. Thanks again for spending the Wednesday night with me here and Brendan. And like I said, let us know what we can do to help out. And like I said, this one is being recorded, so it will be on YouTube 2 o'clock in the morning Central Time. And if you guys need to review it or watch through it again or anything that you wanted to see again. But thanks again, and we'll talk to you guys next week. All right, bye.
Very well. You guys take care.